Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Saken kasen kere konso baba konso felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing well. I am Jason. That is Ben. I am just making sure I got everything set up on the Twitter and the YouTube. And again, thank you for tuning in. This is Wanna Bet. We do this 7 days a week. We give you our favorite plays of the moment, all of our work that we're doing morning, noon, and night, which is not an exaggeration, 7 days a week. We try to boil it down, distill it down into our best plays of the moment around noon Eastern every day. First, second, third down, 3 favorite plays that we've made since yesterday or thereabouts. Fourth down can be fourth and long shot bets, long-term bets. You got to wait a while to get paid. Could be fourth and short, quick hitters. Something to get you paid in the first period, first quarter, first half, etc. Overtime, it is football and football season. So we have parlays in those markets every single day. And unlike the mooks and the hucksters and the bullshitters, we tell you when we're hot, when we're not, what's going well, what's not going well, and how we did last night. That was a playoff game last night, Beltway, Ben, in the NBA. And I'm not one to blow smoke up the backside of commissioners and suck up left and right like a lot of people in the media industry can't wait to do. But the NBA Cup has become a quality product. If the goal was, how do we juice this up to have playoff quality basketball around the holiday season, it's worked. The compete effort, the hustle, the fighting for rebounds, the way the Knicks got down 10 and fought. How about Cat getting back in that game? Money. Money's the great, right? It's the great motivator for everyone. But look, the Knicks aren't going to hang a banner, nor should they, but that's some sort of hardware for them. I thought that game would matter to them. When they got down 10 in the second half, I was a little worried, but it's still Wemby on a pitch count, and the Knicks end up winning comfortably. Michigan State, Toledo, I skull F that. Dude, Sparty scored 30 points in the first 4 minutes of that game. That had no chance of going under. And Cal Baptist, it was there for us. They got up 11 in the second half. Beltway, Ben, Cal Baptist, 6 for 25 from three-point land is how they started that game. They could have won on the boards. They could have won inside. The Steph Curryification of basketball. And then playing home for the first time in a month. It should have not been a motivator for me. It should have scared me. Because it's they're going to try to be something they're not. And everybody's going to try to shoot the three because they're back on the, fertile ground. 6 for 25. They started that from 3. Meanwhile, they had it inside all day long if they wanted it. Only 22 points in the paint. They get the lead up to 11 late, and then start chucking threes again. And look, Southern played their backside off. So Cal Baptist won by 8. They did not cover for us there. That one, I don't think I had a terrible read on it. I just think Cal Baptist had a weird approach to it. And they course corrected a little bit out of the half. And then once they got the lead, they fell back to the tendencies of chucking up threes from the baseline left and right that weren't going to go in. How about your night?
Yeah, we ultimately finished down. We were on Cal Baptist with you, so we lost that. We lost a few of these. We did. No, I watched the ending of that. It was close. But unfortunately, they couldn't.
Also, how about Southern not fouling in the final 2-possession game, and they never fouled in the final 30 seconds?
College basketball is weird. Some coaches will foul down 20. Some won't foul down 8. It is what it is. That was tough. Troy, awful read. I thought they were going to be throwing the football around a lot. The quarterback situation definitely played into how they handled the game. It was very odd. Whatever. I was off on that one. Mikal Bridges, Cat got his rebounds. Mikal Bridges had about 7 chances from 3 and a number of open looks, like I expected. could not throw it in the ocean, was missing shots that were bouncing off the rim and going up into the wire. So that was an unfortunate loss. We did catch Wemby shot attempts. We were all over that, felt very good about that. Even when at halftime, right, he was way under. I said exactly what I thought would happen, where it would be a tight game and he would get shot happy and try to force some shots, which he did in that one. So we were all over that. And then we also cashed our NBA parlay. So we only finished down, less than a unit, less than a half unit actually, but close to finishing up big there. If Bridges knocks down a 3, if Cal Baptist covers, we would have been in a much better spot. But again, just a slightly below average night.
So yeah, not the best night, not the worst. But wait, Ben, though, you ready for me to pick up your spirits a little bit? So who is this? Tell us about.
That's Kona. That is Maddie's
Kona.
Oldest
Why
dog.
Can't I not get this centered up right? How about that? How cute
I'm gonna
is
have
that?
to send this to Maddie. She will love this.
I did not have a chance yet to put him on a stick. I will do that and bring it into work today. And then
Lila.
This is
Lila.
How about that? So we've got new dogs to add into the mix. We will sort that out. I have sticks. I have glue. I just did not have time after dropping Chloe off at school. I
gotta send this one.
Finish the art project. But those guys are about to feature prominently in the show. So we're excited about that. So we always appreciate new props. And Freddie P might be coming to Baltimore. So how about that? How about we do a wanna-bet from like the bullpen, outside the bullpen at Camden Yards, and we get Freddie P.
I don't think they like us very much, but that would be awesome.
No, they hate us. But Freddie P, we might be. The Orioles would not help us at all.
No.
We would have to not let them know. We'd have to circumvent them.
Sneak in.
I'd have to go directly to Freddie P's agent, and then we'd have to just like literally sneak in the back door.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right. So our picks of the day. I want to give something. I'm not giving this pick out, but I want to address it. So like, I like the over in the Delaware-Louisiana bowl game, but it's up to 62.5. I played it at 59.5. I didn't give it out because I didn't think it would move that much. And I liked it. I didn't love it. And I looked today and it's at 62.5. And I'm like, nah. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell people to buy it down because this game's been announced for a long time and it's been sitting there. And so whatever. But if you're dying to get something on that game and you want to put $10 on it because you're going to be watching it, like, I do think Louisiana can score 36, 38 points on a bad Delaware defense, and I think Delaware will score some too. It has a chance to be kind of out there, but I it's not an official play for me. But I did make this bet a couple days ago, and I do want to give it out at current value now because it is starting to slip away from us. The service academies do very well in bowl season because those kids are committed. They're committed beyond just the season. They're committed to go represent our country in the military and fly planes and build submarines. And so they're committed. And the coaches aren't going anywhere, and there's no defections, and it's not an NIL, free for all. So they generally show up and compete, and they play a style of play that's very physical, that not everybody plays, that's hard to adjust to, and coming at the end of the year when people are leaving, it's tough. And Navy's a top 25 team. Cincinnati's a good team, but kids are leaving, and I think by the time they play that game, more kids are going to be gone. This is gone now from Cincinnati, like laying 2.5 to Navy, like laying 9. Let's take Navy on the money line. And then Army just gave Navy all they could handle. UConn, I'm a big Moore guy. I've known Moore forever. We worked together at NFL Network. Moore's gone, man. Moore built that thing at UConn. And any kid who's worth it is going with him. And the ones who are staying are in an untenable situation. And you look at those lines and what's happening there. I don't want to lay the points with Army, but I think Army also plays a style that's really hard for them to run it up on people. And if they're just laying the lumber on the ground game and they get up by 2 or 3 scores, I don't know that they're scoring 30-some points. And I think UConn's going to be in a bad way. Their brain thrust is leaving them, like literally leaving them before this game. So we're going to play the Army UConn under 44.5, Navy on the money line, plus 168. Yeah,
for first down, you did touch on that Delaware game just a little bit. I'm going to play something in one of my areas again, and these haven't had as much success over the last 2 weeks, but we've still been very good with them on the year. We're going to go back to it here. Delaware over 129.5 rushing yards at minus 114, facing off with Louisiana, and Jason mentioned it before. Both of these defenses aren't very good, and we should see a lot of scoring. Sometimes in those matchups, you get scared with taking rushing props because it becomes a pass-heavy game, a lot of throwing the football, and that might be the case here with Delaware, with Minucci, how he is, and just kind of how he plays. They're going to have him throwing it. Yeah, they're going to have him throwing it maybe 50 times. Like, I get that. But the same area there, he runs the ball a lot when he throws, and when stuff breaks down, he takes off. He's only been negative in rushing like 3 or 4 times this year because of sacks. This Louisiana pressure is not very good. They're not getting to the quarterback much, and even in spots where they will get some pressure, we will see Minucci take off and use his legs a little bit more. So I think that he'll add to that. Their running backs aren't very good, but they got a lot of different guys that can beat you with the run, and they're also very versatile, and they use a lot of different running backs. With that being said, if we can get 4 guys, to combine for 120 and then Minucci run for 10 or more, we would cash there. And you look at Louisiana, I talked about how bad they are defensively. Specifically, let's look at what teams are doing against them over the last few weeks. Louisiana Monroe, 205. Arkansas State, 138. Texas State, 168. South Alabama, 165. Troy, 165. Southern Mississippi, 133. And James Madison, 187. And some of these games are these teams losing by 2 scores, just still having success running the football against Louisiana. Now, a few of those teams have a much better rushing offense than what Delaware does. I get that. Delaware has been pass happy throughout the year. But with that being said, in this spot, it's pretty clear how Louisiana has struggled against the run. And some of the teams I just mentioned are just as pass happy as Delaware, if not more. So I think Delaware will run the football a lot tonight. I think that's the recipe to success. Their defense isn't any good. And I know they've played pass happy throughout the year, but give me Delaware on the ground a lot tonight. Delaware over 129.5 rushing yards, minus 114.
Awesome. You're due to hit one of those, Beltway, man.
Absolutely. We've lost 2 straight.
I feel good.
We're in a good spot here.
I also feel good about the College of Charleston tonight, laying 16.5 at the Citadel. Have I played this at 19.5? You're darn tootin'. Look, this has not been a great year for College of Charleston. Their 2 primary scorers are out right now. Mr. Dean. That's his name. How great is that? Mr. Dean. Unfortunately, Mr. Dean missed a lot of the early part of the season due to injury, came back, and now he's out for the year. They've got another guard, Dugan, kind of an instant offense guy. He's going to miss this game as well. But you and I know some coaches, and we know some people who are close to the CAA. College of Charleston has the biggest payroll in the CAA, and I'm told it's not all that close. What does that mean? It means they've got depth. And I like them on the road at the Citadel. Why? Because hopefully they don't do what Baptist did last night and try to chuck up a bunch of threes. Hopefully what they do is say, we've got 2 7-footers and they've got none. We could score 80 easy on these guys just lobbing it inside, and they're going to struggle to get to 60 on us. So let's play it that way. Why do we like fading the Citadel so much? Well, they're 306 in the country in points scored. They're 300th in field goal percentage. They're 266th in 3-point field goal percentage. And Beltway, Ben, they're a bottom 30 team in the country hitting their foul shots. They don't even hit their foul shots. How about defensively? 330th in opposing field goal percentage. 296 defending the 3 ball. 231st defensive rebounding. Not great. This kind of reminds me of College of Charleston when they faced South Carolina State, also a depleted version of College of Charleston at the time. They won that game 88-61. I think they very well win this game over 20 unless somebody else gets hurt or real weird foul trouble starts. Citadel's 2-6 against the spread. Their margin of defeat this season as a dog is 16 points. There's reflected in the line. They failed to cover as a dog by 5.6 per game. There's really not a whole lot for them to hang their hat on. And this is a spot for College of Charleston to get right before CAA season opens. I think they're going to have a different CAA season than they're used to. it kind of wouldn't shock me if they're even like the 4th or 5th best team in the CAA this year, which is uncommon for them. And they look, they haven't been great this year, and they haven't even been great at home. But I think there's a spot for them to get right and win by 20 or more.
For second down, we will head back to the NBA. Just a simple parlay here. Team on the money line and Anthony Edwards, multiple things. So we're going to go with the Timberwolves on the money line, Anthony Edwards 25 plus points, and Anthony Edwards 3 plus rebounds at plus 105. Now, he's questionable, not 100% certain he'll play.
I was going to say
with an
or anything because last I heard that it was still a little iffy.
He's questionable. So if we lose, and again, it's 12 now, so if we lose out on Ant both ways, I still think they win the game, to be quite honest with you. But we would basically be playing it at minus 296 or whatever we got it at. So it wouldn't pay very well. And you'd get the push on Ant Edwards, but our bet would still be in there. I'm trusting that he's going to play tonight. He's been out 2 games, been out about 10 days dealing with the foot injury. I think he'll be fine to go. Now, we'll start with the Timberwolves on the money line. I'm not really buying what the Grizzlies are doing lately. Like, they're getting healthier. Ja's back. Jackson has, turned into a real problem again, because at one point in his career he was, but it's been up and down. He's dealt with injuries, all those things. Cam Spencer, Baltimore legend from the area.
How about him, basketball. Man? Lax.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's been playing very good basketball. But with all that being said, the Grizzlies still aren't great. They're not better than what the Timberwolves have. Minnesota has played better basketball. They went on a little 3-game losing streak, and since that, they've won 5 of their last 6. I'm buying the Timberwolves more than I'm buying what Memphis has with or without Anthony Edwards. And now to the Anthony Edwards props. Again, I think he's going to play. He's questionable. A tough guy. He's missed 10 days. That should be enough to get back from an injury that is just a bump or a bruise. I don't think that it's anything too serious. 25 plus points in 14 of his last 19 games, 14 to 19 games this year. I took out the one game where he got hurt in the first 2 minutes, so that doesn't really count for this. If he stays healthy in this game and plays, if he comes back, he's going to play 25 to 30 minutes, 25 plus points from their immediate score shouldn't be an issue. And then 3 plus rebounds. He's done that in 16 of 19. If he's on the court, he's going to grab boards. Memphis has gotten better defensively, but still allow a lot on the glass. And I know Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert are there to steal a lot of boards there, but Anthony Edwards is still aggressive there. He's aggressive looking to score. He's aggressive on the glass, and he will look to lead this team to a victory as long as he plays. I touched on it. Memphis has gotten better defensively because 2.5 weeks ago we were talking about them every night as one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Things have changed. They've fixed. They've gotten a little bit better. They're starting to buy in to Isolo a little bit more. I still think Minnesota has a strong showing tonight and beats them, and Anthony Edwards has his fingerprints all over it. So give me the Timberwolves on the money line, Ant for 25 plus points, and Ant for 3 plus rebounds, plus 105.
When I get done this show and I finish, I cut out our new members of our Warner Bet family, and I drive these to you at the station. I will go right down Lake Avenue, and there will be kids from Boys Latin, BL Lakers walking up and down the above ground bridge promenade across Lake Avenue. And I bring that up because how many times do you think Cam Spencer walked that bridge?
Yeah, I played him when he was at Boys Latin, actually.
BL legend. Boys Latin.
One of the rare basketball stars to play JV as a sophomore.
How about that? It's crazy. And JV at a school that's not even a conference in basketball.
Right. Didn't make any sense, and he was dominating us. So there it is.
Yeah. Well, Steve Kerr, right? Those are the guys who really kind of unlocked them. They're the guys who figured.
Well,
it
that's
out,
for Pat. Cam.
That's the other one.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Pat's the Terrelton Award winner. He won the Heisman of lacrosse, and then goes and plays at Northwestern. Just great. Those two guys are dogs. They're both.
That's
dogs.
Nuts.
It is. It's insane.
Yeah. We should probably just put them in the IA Hall of Fame.
We should. Might as well.
They should just come on
right
down. Third down. Sam Darnold, 250 more passing yards tomorrow night, plus 145. Look, we documented on yesterday's show with some of the plays that we made on Shaheed. The Rams are giving it up on the back end, and this became a problem for them late last season as well. Rams have allowed 264 or more passing yards in 5 of their last 8 games. Beltway Ben, they've allowed that in all 4 of their division games, have the Rams. Darnold went for 279 against these guys on the road, despite throwing 4 picks. Seattle's run game, look, Sam Darnold chucks the ball down the field more than anybody else. And I don't think they're getting away from that now, especially when it looks like they finally do have Shaheed going. Darnold was a disaster against the Rams, obviously. They still almost came back and won that game. He had a nice drive for them almost to kick the game-winning field goal. And he's got 1 interception since then. So he's not completely fallen apart mentally like I thought he might. The Rams have allowed 5 passing plays of 30 yards or more in the last 3 games alone. And if Darnold's not seeing ghost, I think he throws. Look, I think he could throw for 300. I mean, the weather report doesn't look terrible. He's opened it up at home. It's not like he's one of these guys who's a dome quarterback or anything like that. So I think for this kind of return, almost $1.50 to 1, for him to do something that he's averaged all season, something that he did already against this defense on the road. And frankly, we've seen that Rams secondary slip a little bit more since then. I mean, Bryce Young lit these guys up. So, Sam Darnold, 3rd down.
Almost put up Gigi. Almost put up Gigi there.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, almost put up Gigi there. That would have been interesting. But no, I'm on that as well. I like his passing props, which I'll get into a little bit more tomorrow. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think he's going to throw all over them. But no, 3rd down, we will go back to the NBA. A lot of NBA plays that I like for tonight. We will go with Josh Giddey over 8.5 rebounds, which you can find at plus 116. And we'll also play him over 16.5 rebounds and assists at minus 114. When you look at the matchup tonight, Cleveland, we knew how good they were and how dominant they were during the regular season last year, and their defense played a big role in it. The defense isn't there anymore. I mean, Cleveland's allowing more rebounds than anybody in the NBA over their last 5.
Crazy.
And let's look at what some comparable guys to Josh Giddey, and it's hard to find many guys like him. The only one that I found directly like him would be Denny Avdia, and he went for 27, 8, and 7, and that was with Evan Mobley on the court. Evan Mobley's impact on that defense is a big factor. And now that he's out, I mean, guys are doing it right. Like Bridges, when they faced Miles Bridges, 20, 10, and 16. Brandon Miller, 25, 13, and 6. Same game. Bub Carrington. The Wizards have basically nobody like Giddey, but Bub Carrington was the only guy that really filled up the stat sheet. Bub had 27, 8, and 6. Guys are going over these numbers with regularity against them. And as I said before with Josh Giddey, he's almost a unicorn. Denny's a comparison. Luka, in terms of rebounds and assisting, of course, he does not have anything like Luka scoring. But in terms of rebounds and assisting, Josh Giddey has been doing it with regularity. And how this defense has been for Cleveland is concerning. This is not a good year for them. They're not playing good basketball whatsoever. In their wins, it's storm back late and get back into the game with scoring. Still don't defend. Other teams miss shots, and you get back into the game that way. So I think it's going to be a strong showing from Josh Giddey. I like him to go over 16.5 rebounds and assists. And again, you're getting over 8.5 rebounds at plus 116, a very, very good number here. So give me Josh Giddey over 8.5 rebounds at plus 116 and 16.5 rebounds and assists at minus 114.
Me and the meat man are on that.
Which one? The rebounds?
We're looking for something to get on. We're gonna just take the 114. Yeah, the rebounds and assists.
Right.
Yeah. I like it. We need some NBA action tonight. I like that play. 4th down. 4th and long. It's not a 4th and short for me. We're going to continue to attack the long reception markets, and we're going to do it at alt numbers. So let's take Colby Parkinson, longest reception, 20 or more yards, plus 170. In 10 games this season, Beltway Ben, Seattle has allowed a 20-yard or more reception to a tight end. We know Mike McDonald. We saw the best version of his defense in Baltimore, where they set an NFL record. First team to have the Holy Trilogy. Most takeaways, fewest points allowed, most sacks. Tight end still had joy against that defense. And this version of it in Seattle, it's remained a problem. You've had a tight end have a reception of 20 yards or more in 7 of the last 8 games. There's also 2 other games. Remember, they've only played, 14? There's 2 other games where a tight end had one for 17 or more. How's it been going for Parkinson lately? Well, Davante Adams is hurt, right? And Higbee's hurt. Yeah, he's seeing a lot of the ball. He's coming off a game where he had 575 and 2 touchdowns. His target share is up significantly the last couple games. He has a touchdown in 5 of his last 6 games, although it seems like nobody's really noticed. And 7 times this year, tight ends have been targeted 10 times or more against Seattle. Everybody's going to do it. This kid had a nice game against them a few weeks back, and that's when the Rams offense was at full health. Look, I've dabbled on this at 30 yards too, but he's not the most explosive guy in the world. But Stafford knows where to find the holes in the zone. McDonald's not going to blitz a ton. And I think Parkinson's sort of the pie graph of Parkinson's timeshare in this offense is growing. And Stafford clearly trusts him. So we also like a Parkinson anytime touchdown plus 235. Caesars has this price better than anybody else. We just watched Davante Adams go down with a hamstring injury. Davante Adams was the guy catching all the goal-to-go touchdowns. Davante Adams is, 14, 15 passing touchdowns this year? I think Parkinson's going to be the primary beneficiary from that in the tight quarter stuff. He's a dependable guy. So, and that I don't think that's going to be there by tomorrow. If you can still get that over like plus 215 tomorrow, maybe not even plus 200, I'd be surprised. I don't want to take the chance.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm going to be on him tomorrow with his regular numbers because, as you mentioned, Davante Adams probably out. How that tight end room has been with injuries, and then how they've been against tight end. So I do like him a lot. When you sent both plays today, I was like, we're going to be on some of the same stuff or similar stuff. But no, we're going to go here. We're going to play a regular. This is a 1-unit play. Josh Giddey double minus 115. I just broke down what I liked about him. But why it's 4th and long, we're also going to play triple-double plus 425, and we're going to do choppy. Just a half a unit. Giddey's had about 4 or 5 triple-doubles this year.
Yeah.
It's a big ask. But as I said earlier, when you look at comparable guys like Denny with 8 and 7 with Mobley on the court, that changes things when you take him off and how Giddey's been. And when NBA players know they're right around the number, right? If he's got 9 and 7 late, they're going to try to push and let him get there. And he's already been really good with assists. You're facing a team who's allowing more assists than almost anybody else in the NBA of late. How bad they've been defensively, I don't think, the flip switches tonight. Like this matchup here against the Bulls, the way that they play with running guns.
He's rested because nobody's played this week with NBA Cup.
Yeah, no. A lot of guys are rested. He's going to play regular minutes. He's been the focal point of what they do. He's always touching the basketball. Even since Kobe White has come back, that really hasn't changed what he's doing in terms of touching the ball and how much, ball dominance he's had. Of course, Kobe White will take the ball a little bit more, but I don't think anything's changing in terms of that. So give me Josh Giddey with a triple-double. We'll play that for a half unit, and we're going to play a full unit on a double-double from Giddey.
I'm about to put like $10-15 on that, just a triple-double. He's due for one. And Cleveland's defense is shisa. And Mobley's not playing, and Jared Allen just came back from injury. How much is he playing?
Yep.
Yeah. Overtime. Matt Stafford, 2 touchdowns and 220 passing yards, plus 152. I mean, look, Stafford's throwing for 2 a game. Like it's just been what he's done all year, and it's priced pretty low here because Seattle's a good defense, but he did it against them a couple weeks ago. He's done it 6 straight. Seattle's allowed 2 or more in 6 straight against the NFC West, Beltway Ben. Seattle has allowed 2 or more passing touchdowns in 8 of the last 10, 4 of the last 5 at home. The only home game they didn't do it was, I think, the Minnesota game where, wasn't that the Max Goldstein or whatever, where Darnold only threw it 12 times and Minnesota had a kid playing quarterback who couldn't.
Brosmer.
Couldn't throw the ball. Yeah. So there's that. Seattle's defense has allowed 18 passing touchdowns in 10 division games under McDonald. That's the way you score on them in the division. Stafford obviously is on pace for over 50 passing touchdowns. And the 220 yards is low for him. Seattle gives up the passing touchdowns. They do keep the yards per attempt tamped down pretty good, especially against wide receivers and running backs. Again, not so much against tight ends. The yardage numbers don't tend to get too crazy. So for the purposes of this parlay, Stafford 2 passing touchdowns, 220 passing yards, plus 152. That was at DraftKings. That was priced better there than anywhere else. And I also played Stafford 275 or more passing yards in case Nakua does get loose and this game does get crazy and it becomes the NFC West Championship game and both teams are scoring. You can get Stafford at 275, a number he's hit quite often this year, at plus 265.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the NFL too.
Sorry, plus 225. Yeah. I played it at plus 265 yesterday. It's already lost 40 cents. Sorry. And that's at FanDuel. Plus 225. I got it yesterday, didn't give it out, but played it at plus 265. So that's why I'm giving that out now, even though it's not a parlay. I wanted to get it in this show because I don't think you're going to be able to get 2-1 on that come tomorrow.
Yeah, I got 2 NFL plays. Neither is involved with tomorrow's game. I will get to tomorrow's game in a big way tomorrow. But no, Eagles on the money line, the Bills on the money line, the Lions on the money line, and the Ravens on the money line, which you can get at plus 234. Eagles matching up with a Commanders team that I just don't think is anything close to what they have, and they need these wins. They just do. Let's be real. I think the Eagles win that game against the Commanders. I'm not buying anything with that. The Bills facing the Browns. Can Judkins get off a little bit in this one? Probably, and we'll probably be on him a few different ways again. I know he's burned us, but he's also cashed for us in plus money ways, so he's not banned. So, but regardless, I think the Bills' offense will be able to get going against a Browns defense that has really fallen off. And I also think the Bills might do what they can to take Judkins away and force Shador to beat them. And we've seen that, in recent weeks, and that hasn't been the recipe for success. The Lions against the Steelers, I'm going to be on the Lions a lot of different ways as well. Listen, the Steelers team sucks. I still believe that. You can show what you want against the Dolphins. Lions passing defense is not very good. And maybe can Aaron Rodgers throw it a little bit against them? Possibly, but I do think this Detroit offense is going to run the ball right down the Steelers' throat. And we saw the speed back in James Cook just a few weeks ago, what he was able to do. That smells of Jahmyr Gibbs maybe having 180-plus rushing yards in a big day. And then the Ravens on the money line to finish off plus 234. Down the stretch, I have stayed away from the Ravens. I haven't really believed in anything they had. And a lot of people have asked me, in the post-game show in a lot of different ways, how are they going to beat New England and Green Bay in these next 2 weeks? I said Green Bay, I think, is a long shot. I don't see them winning it. New England, I keep coming back to, I think they're going to beat them. I don't really buy what New England's done this year. I think their hot streak came way too early, and they caught a lot of teams by surprise, and it worked to their advantage at that point. Now teams know what they are, and they don't really have many big-time guys. I mean, Drake May, he's played good in year 2. Can he beat the Ravens a little bit with the pass? Yes. But their run game, like Trevion Henderson, you got to take him away. Ramondre has a big fumbling problem. And the Ravens are starting to force some turnovers. Could they punch the football out of Ramondre once or twice? Yeah, I think they could. I really like the Ravens here in this spot. The Patriots' run defense is legit, and they could take Derrick Henry away. But their passing defense is not very good outside of Christian Gonzalez. And to that point, we will go to the Ravens on the money line and Lamar Jackson 2+ touchdown passes to get us plus 142. If the Ravens are going to win this game, Lamar Jackson is going to have his fingerprint all over it. He started to look better last game. Now, small sample size, completes just 8 passes, but it was a lot of good throws, and you had to throw to Zay Flowers. You had another throw where he made a play to Zay Flowers. So it was a lot of efficient throws for Lamar Jackson when he completed those. I think he's going to have 2+ touchdown passes. I think he's going to have to for them to win this game, and then them on the money line, plus 142.
Excellent. So that's our show. We got a great email yesterday. Again, you can email us, wannabetwithus@gmail.com, asking about ad placement in the podcast. That's definitely something that we're efforting. And I think our friends at Odyssey might be able to. I do think they might be able to help us with something there, Ben. I read a little bit about that last night. So we'll see. We certainly will get you guys Christmas plays early like we did for Thanksgiving. We're cognizant of that and how difficult it is to get your apps to work and register in different states and all that when you're going to be traveling. So that was already on our radar, and thank you for the email bringing that further to our attention. And yeah, any questions, comments, feedback, good, bad, and different, hit us up there. We always like staying in touch with you guys. Tomorrow we are back at noon. Oh yeah, Beltway Ben, put it up there because we do it twice. We don't have to do it at all. Nobody. We made these rules. We like to show you guys exactly where it's going, how it's going, what we're doing. A lot of my plays, again, are not for tonight. That's just the way it goes. It's only a couple NBA games. The bowl game, I told you, I already lost a lot of value on to try to give it out now. And the college basketball slate, I just don't love as much as some of the days moving forward. We got no Champions League this week. We will get on some Premiership and Bundesliga matches early, but not quite this early. And tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, we've done awesome in the primetime windows. So we certainly will have more of those plays for you tomorrow. You want to bet, we want to bet. As always, thank you guys for betting with us.